I want to get you out the door with every result from every league in under 15 minutes, so that you're more informed about what's going on in the world of sports.
Hey TJ, what's going on? I'm Chandler and this is Tiger Beat Sports.
Hey everybody, I'm Chandler Sports and this is the Sport Report.
And I'm Chandler and this is Tiger Beat Sports. Welcome to a special edition of this all-crazy sports newscast.
Broadcasting from somewhere in the United States.
Hit it, Blaze.
This is the Sport Report.
Sunday, July 14th, 2019.
Hey everybody, I'm Chandler with Sports, and this is the Sport Report. It's time to get you caught up on what's happening in the world of sports. This is Top of the Order.
In a year that has been so improbable, the impossible has happened.
This is Top of the Order.
Our top story comes from the baseball diamond at Progressive Field in Cleveland, where Twins outfielder Max Kepler becomes the third player in Major League Baseball history in the expansion era to homer off a pitcher in 5 consecutive at-bats. Granted, this is over the course of 2 games, but this is a feat that is extraordinary nonetheless. Did the Twins defeat the Indians? Well, wait till the Around the MLB segment in just a few moments. We'll let you know. It'll be the first game in the Around the MLB segment. For now, we transition to cycling, where the Tour de France is happening in France. We've got 2 correspondents on tap for today's episode. We'll start in Saint-Étienne with Sport Report cycling correspondent Tyler Corbo. Tyler, Le Tour has been going on for 8 days, and we've had a couple of changes in the yellow jersey standings. I understand that you've been covering it from the road.
Well, if you count the road as outside the broadcast center, set up at the end of each stage, then yes. I don't have a press pass, sadly, because someone, I'm not going to name him, but he's my boss, forgot to apply for the press pass.
In my defense, I really don't have a defense on this one. I'm sorry for not getting you the press pass, but please continue.
Anyways, the tour started in Brussels last Saturday, and Dutchman Mike Tuassen was the leader throughout 2 stages before Julien Alaphilippe took La Maillot Jaune for 4 days. Gilles Ciccone from Italy had it for another 2 days. Then Alaphilippe got it back in yesterday's stage. Thomas de Gent from Belgium won stage 8 yesterday in the hills. And today, the riders will go Briond in a 170.5 kilometer stage. There are 3 climbs in the stage, including a climb 13 kilometers from the finish. If you want to tune in to the end of the stage and you didn't set your DVR, tune in to NBCSN around 11 a.m. Eastern Time for the conclusion of Stage 9. I'll be back in the next week to recap the stages in the Alps. Back to Wish Shorts in the studio.
Thanks, Tyler. Transitioning to cricket, the Cricket World Cup final will take place at Lord's in London later today, but it won't be the only sporting event in London. We'll get to that in a second. At Lord's today, the historic cricket ground, it'll host the final of the Cricket World Cup between England and New Zealand. It's match 48 of 48 in a cup that has provided a lot of drama and intrigue over the course of the past month. Who will win? Find out in tomorrow's episode of the Sport Report. Now, it's not the only big tournament happening in London, as Wimbledon has been happening at the All England Club in London. And for a recap of the ladies' singles final and a preview of the gentlemen's singles final, we turn to Sport Report tennis correspondent Ben Finlow, who has been covering Wimbledon over the last 2 weeks. And Ben, yesterday's ladies' singles final produced somewhat of an upset.
It was only somewhat of an upset because Serena Williams was expected to win her 24th Grand Slam title. But Simona Halep got in the way on a beautiful day on center court here at the All England Club. Halep went up 2 breaks in the first set as she won the first 4 games. She would go on to win the first set 6-2. In the second set, Serena hit back and it was tied at 2 games apiece before Halep broke her twice again. Halep went on to win her second Grand Slam title, and Serena loses her 3rd consecutive Grand Slam final. She was in the final at Wimbledon last year and this year, and then at the 2018 US Open. Serena is still looking for that 24th Grand Slam title, as I mentioned earlier, which would tie Margaret Court for the most Grand Slams in the history of tennis, men or women. Serena will have another chance at Flushing Meadows in the US Open from August 26th to September 8th. That will be a fun tournament in Queens in 6 weeks. Before we can focus on that, the gentlemen's singles final takes place between Serbian and current world number 1 Novak Djokovic and Swiss legend Roger Federer. Federer is looking for his 9th Wimbledon title, which will be the most all-time, and his 21st Grand Slam title, which would extend his record for the most Grand Slam titles by a man. Djokovic is still looking for his 5th Wimbledon title and 16th overall major title. Both of these these guys know what it takes to win a major title. Joker is 2-1 at Wimbledon versus Federer, and he won the title versus Fed in both 2014 and 15. Djokovic is 25 wins and 22 losses versus Federer since 2006, including winning the last 5 meetings between these two greats of the game. I'll be back tomorrow with a recap of the gentlemen's final. With sports, back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Ben, and welcome to the Sport Report team. That covers tennis for today. We head to our final sport of the night, Major League Baseball.
Derek Jeter with one of the most unbelievable plays you will ever see by a shortstop. Ortiz into deep right field. Back is Sheffield. We'll see you later tonight.
Someday, the Chicago Cubs are going to be in the World Series.
Now from Major League Baseball.
We said we'd give you the Twins and Indians score first, so Minnesota Twins 6, Cleveland Indians 2. Max Kepler had 2 home runs in this game, one in the first inning and one in the second inning. The one in the second inning occurred after his teammate Jake Cave had one off of Bauer. Trevor Bauer falls to 8-7 with a 3.65 ERA for the Indians, as Jake Odorizzi improves to 11-4 with a 3.06 ERA for the Twins. There were 15 other games on the calendar due to a doubleheader between the Tampa Bay Rays and Baltimore Orioles. In Game 1 of that doubleheader, the Orioles got the best of the Rays 2-1. It was Stevie Wilkerson, the left fielder for the Orioles, who hit a go-ahead 2-run homer in the 7th, 2 innings after Brennan McKay, former Louisville Cardinal pitcher and star pitcher now for the Tampa Bay Rays, after he hadn't allowed a single run in this ballgame. In 2 of his 3 Major League Baseball starts, McKay has not allowed a single run. The Rays got the better of the Orioles in the second game of the doubleheader 12-4. Charlie Morton improves to 11-2 with a 2.35 ERA for the Rays in that second game of the doubleheader. Toronto Blue Jays 2, New York Yankees 1. J.A. Happ falls to 7-5 for the Yankees. Oakland Athletics 13, Chicago White Sox 2. Oakland put 7 runs on the White Sox in the first inning alone. They added 4 more in the 4th. It was 11-0, then 12-0 in the 6th before Chicago got 2 and their only 2 runs of the game in the top half of the 7th. New York Mets 4, Miami Marlins 2. Robbie Cano hit a go-ahead homer in the 8th inning to put the Mets ahead of the Marlins, and Noah Syndergaard gets his 7th win of the season for New York. He's 7-4 for the Mets. Edwin Diaz gets his 20th save for the Mets, as they now have an equal amount of saves, 21, compared with blown saves in the season, 21. St. Louis Cardinals 4, Arizona Diamondbacks 2. Dakota Hudson improves to 8-4 on the season with a 3.48 ERA for the Cardinals. Carlos Martinez comes out of the bullpen for the Cardinals and gets his 4th save of the season. All 4 of St. Louis's runs came from Tyler O'Neill, who batted in all 4 runs on 2 hits. Kansas City Royals 4, Detroit Tigers 1. Matthew Boyd becomes the 4th pitcher in Tigers history to have 10 or more strikeouts in 3 consecutive games. He joins Denny McLain, Mickey Lolich, who did it 3 times, and Justin Verlander. Milwaukee Brewers 5, San Francisco Giants 4. It was pinch hitter Ben Gamel who came in the bottom half of the 9th inning and delivered a clutch hit. It would be a walk-off double in the bottom half of the 9th for the Brew Crew. In 11 innings, Houston Astros 7, Texas Rangers 6 in an all-Texas battle. This one took 11 innings. Jose Altuve had 4 hits. The Astros had 2 runs in the top half of the 11th. The Rangers could only get 1 back in the bottom half of the 11th. Roberto Osuna gets his 20th save of the season for Houston. Another extra inning game, this one in 10 innings. Atlanta Braves 7, San Diego Padres 5. Sean Newcomb improves to 3-1 on the season. Luis Perdomo falls to 1-2. Perdomo for the Padres, Newcomb for the Braves. The Braves scored 3 in the top half of the 10th. San Diego could get 1 back in the bottom half of the 10th, but it wouldn't be enough. LA Angels 9, Seattle Mariners 2. A day after throwing a combined no-hitter, the 13th combined no-hitter in Major League history, the 5th in the state of California, and the first combined no-hitter in Major League Baseball in the state of California since July 13th of 1991, 28 years to the day that Tyler Skaggs was born. Tyler Skaggs was the Angels pitcher who died suddenly on July 1st. 2 nights ago, they honored him by playing their first home game in Los Angeles since his passing. In last night's ball game, they win by 7. Albert Pujols drives in 4 runs and homers in the victory for the Angels. Wade LeBlanc falls to 5-3 for the Mariners. Matt Harvey improves to 3-4 for the Angels. LA Dodgers 11, Boston Red Sox 2. Ross Stripling improves to 4-3 with a 3.65 ERA for the Dodgers. And Chris Sale, goodness, he is not having a fantastic season. He's 3-9 for the Red Sox with a 4.27 ERA. The Dodgers had 4 home runs against the Boston Red Sox pitching staff last night. Chicago Cubs 10, Pittsburgh Pirates 4. John Lester improves to 9-6 on the season with a 3.74 ERA for the Cubbies as he threw 6 2/3 innings, allowing 3 earned runs on 8 hits. That qualifies as a quality start for Lester. Washington Nationals 4, Philadelphia Phillies 3. The Nats had trailed 3-1 in the Bryce Harper Bowl before his former team gets the best of his current team. Nationals added 1 in the top half of the 8th inning to trail by 1, and then they scored 2 in the top half of the 9th to take the lead from the Phillies, and they would not look back. Juan Soto hit a go-ahead home run to make it 4-3 in the top half of the 9th. That would be the final score in the end. Sean Doolittle gets his 20th save for Washington. And in the final game of the night between the Colorado Rockies and Cincinnati Reds, a game that didn't get started till 9:18 p.m. local time, didn't finish till 1:11 a.m. out here. A 3-hour, 8-minute rain delay by Mother Nature decided to impact this game, but it didn't disappoint. The Rockies had to use 6 different pitchers in this game. The Reds also had to use 6 different pitchers in this game, as both starting pitchers between Kyle Freeland and Tanner Roark only survived 8 2/3 innings between them both. Neither of them made it out of the 5th inning. Cincinnati Reds 17, Colorado Rockies 9. That's the Sport Report for Sunday, July 14th, 2019.
For now, I'm Chandler.
Thanks for tuning into the Sport Report today. We'll be back tomorrow with the latest in sports. Do you want to contact Chandler Sports or members of the Sport Report team? Visit sportreportcws.com. This podcast is copyrighted by the Sport Report for viewers to understand sports from a news reporting basis. Any other use of this podcast, Sport Report logos, or anything associated with this podcast without the express written consent of Chandler Sports is strictly prohibited.